Do you want to make your website load 100 times faster? Then look no further. In this video, we will learn how to use indexes to make our MySQL queries super fast and turbocharge our websites. Now let's run some basic queries and see how indexes affect our query time. Here I'm working on the MySQL workbench, but if you're on terminal or phpMyAdmin, it's absolutely fine. You just need to focus on the queries. For this example, I have a table called authors. It has the columns, first name, last name, email, birth date, and the time it was added. So as you can see here, we have close to 3 million records in the table authors. Let's run some basic queries and see how long it takes. Here we have a query where we have the first name Jonas and the last name Smith. Let me run this query. Now, I want us to focus on the time here. It's taken us almost 2 seconds to get the result. Now, this might seem fast, but this is actually quite slow. Now, imagine you have a database with tables which have millions of records, and you have multiple joins and multiple filters. It's only going to get slower. So to make this faster, we need to add indexes. Now, when you say you're adding an index, all you're doing is you're telling the database that a certain column is important for you. Now, in this example, first name and last name are important because you're going to use them when you're filtering. So therefore, you can tell MySQL that first name or the column last name or both of them are important for you. When you do this, MySQL takes those values from the columns and then stores them in a separate location. Now, before I explain how indexes work in deep, let us actually add an index. Now, to add an index, you can use the statement here, which is alter table, the table name authors, and the key here is the add index and the name you want to give to the index, which is author index, or you can name it anything you want. Now, we need to focus here. Here within the parenthesis, you can name all the columns you want to index. For this example, I'm just going to index the first name column. Now note that we can also add an index using the create index statement, and we can add an index while creating a new table. But for this example, let's just look at the alter table statement. Now let me run this index. Again, focus here. You can see it's taking quite some time to do this. This is because MySQL, like I said before, takes all the values from this column first name, and then it creates a separate column or it creates a separate storage where all of it is saved. It took almost 10 seconds. Now, let's get back to this. Here, let me run this query again. This is the difference. Please focus here. Now you can see that the exact same query has taken just about 28 seconds. When we ran this query earlier, you can see it has 23 rows here. Even now, the result is 23 rows. But the difference here is it's just taken 0.028 seconds, which is 28 milliseconds. This is the difference. And this is why I say that when you use indexes, you can make your site hundreds of times faster. Now here's something better. Now what if I said I can make this query even faster? Let me show you what I mean. Let me drop this index. This is the statement to drop an index. So you say drop index. Remember the index name that we gave, author index. We're going to drop that. Let me run this query. Now this is the statement here, drop index. All it does is whatever the index was, author index, it's going to just remove it. Now, let me add the index all over again. I'm going to use the same statement, the alter table statement, with the table name and the key add index and the index name. But this time, let's focus here. I'm adding both the columns. I'm telling MySQL that this time I want you to index the first name column and the last name column. Let me run this query. Again, like I said, this is going to take some time because MySQL now has to take data from both the columns and save it in a separate location, in separate storage. The first time we did this, it took 10 seconds. This time, I want us to focus here. It's taking almost 13.5 seconds. Let me go back to the query again. Let me close this. Now let me run this query. You see how quick this was? I want us to focus on the duration here. It says it took 0.0030 seconds. This is nothing but 3 milliseconds. I told you we can make this query faster, and we did just that. This is the difference, guys. When we ran the query with absolutely no indexes, it took 2 seconds. 23 rows, 2 seconds. When we added the index, the first index with just one column, it took 28 milliseconds for the same 23 rows. But now, when we added the index for both the columns, it's taken 0.0030 seconds, which is just 3 milliseconds. So the difference is 2 seconds versus 3 milliseconds. It's hundreds of times faster. This is how indexes can make your website faster. Now, if you liked this video so far, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for more videos. So what's happening here? When you search without indexes, MySQL has to crawl through each and every row and look for the value that you searched for. And it notes down the location of that value and moves to the next row. Therefore, MySQL has to go through each and every row, which is 3 million rows in this table. And that's why it takes 2 seconds. Now, when we add an index, what MySQL does is it takes all the values from that column and stores it in a separate location in an order. And when you do a filter search, it does a binary search on that column. So what is the binary search? It takes the binary value of the value you searched, which is in this example, Jonas, and it looks at the middle value in the index column. If the value you searched is greater than the middle value, it'll look on the right side of the middle value. But if it was lesser, it'll look on the left side. The same procedure continues. Once it looks on the right side, again, it'll take the middle value in the right side of the result. And again, it'll see if it's greater or lesser. The same thing continues until it finds a match. This way, MySQL doesn't have to crawl through each and every row. And once it's found the result, it'll also have the location where it exists in the original table. So MySQL just goes back to the original table, finds the pointer location and says, just retrieve this result. And this is why indexes make your queries faster. Just a word of caution. Note that though indexes make your queries fast, they do take quite a bit of processing and storage. So choose your indexes wisely. Now, there are other ways of adding indexes, and there are different types of indexes. We'll look at them in a later video. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And I hope with this, you can make your website faster. Thank you for watching.